Welcome to my 2015 Tesla Model S rebuild or build. I bought this thing at Copart, and it has 92,000 miles on it. And where should we start? Let's start with the front here. It had a little bit of a bunch of mud and debris that went up into here where the radiators sit. And you can tell I now have a radiator hose, or not radiator hose, I mean a garden hose where the radiator used to be. And that's for testing purposes so that I could plug it in and see if it would charge. And yes, the vehicle does charge. I set it to 80%. It got there. I just had to install that garden hose, like I said, because I had to put the antifreeze back in it and bleed the system of air so that when you start charging the vehicle, the fluid circulates around, and then it allows the battery to be charged. So because there's a lot of coolant inside the battery pack, and then like I said, the AC condenser's got a little messed up. The left one's still there, the right one's gone. And this was all just mud and like debris as he went into some kind of ditch, kind of turned into a little bit of a plow here in the front. Didn't cause any structural damage like frame damage or anything like that. It's all just brackets and like the aluminum frame that holds these radiators and condensers and a bunch of plastic. I have all that needs to be replaced. I'm going to get to it shortly. Even the radar survived, believe it or not. The radar here did survive. And then the wiring harness, I have a brand new one for the front bumper. The front bumper wiring harness here for the parking sensors and whatnot. And then the shutters, motors for shutters, things like that. I have all those pieces, so I'm going to get to that shortly. Let's go over here by the doors. These are like 2013 or 14 year doors. I'm not exactly sure. I really don't. I don't know if the guy even knew who sold them to me. But anyways, yeah, it's hard to imagine how he didn't, but you know, whatever. At any rate, these doors, since they're not a 2015, I replaced the wiring harnesses with the ones that came with the vehicle. That way there's no question as to what modules, you know, work or won't work. Everything's the same now, so all the wiring, all the modules, everything's going to be from a 2015, including these door handles right here. This little wiring harness is for the later style door handles that no longer have micro switches in them. The earlier cars did the handles they used did not use in a module on the outside here, basically a little computer that senses where the handle is. It uses a magnet. The newer style has a magnet and a sensor to pick up where that magnet is as the handle ejects and recesses. Where the older style handles, they had micro switches in them. So every time it ejected, it would touch a little micro switch. It would close it, the little contacts in there, and say, hey, I'm all the way out. And then vice versa, when it would recess, it would hit a little micro switch and say, hey, I'm closed. And the computer was built into the handle. And those things broke a lot all the time. So I think there's even a lawsuit. At any rate, the newer style ones, they're a lot less maintenance, a lot less things can go wrong with them. And so yeah, so I transferred the wiring harness here in this door and the passenger door here. I mean, yeah, the rear driver's side door, and also installed riv nuts because the older style ones did not have riv nuts in them. They used just like little plastic inserts and screws to hold things down. So I just did it like the 2015, along with all the little sound deadener in the right locations. Just transferred it from the other door. And like I said, the same thing applies to the passenger door here. Same thing, you know, got the riv nuts installed, the original wiring harness back in here. Pretty soon I'm going to be putting this together. At any rate, yeah, it did have a little bit of an impact here on the side. It kind of ripped this quarter panel a little bit up to here, and was even somehow grabbed onto this rear bumper and kind of tore off the cover. I have all that. I'm going to be putting that back on after doing a little bit of body work to it. At any rate, so like I said, it's a 2015 Tesla Model S, 92,000 miles on it. I got it for an excellent price because of this little bit of damage here and there. And it had no key. So nobody knew whether or not this battery pack would charge or not. So I went ahead and decided to, for the price that I got it, believe me, it was like, well, whatever, let's flip a coin and see if it works or not. All right. As a further update to the Tesla Model S, the 2015 S, it is now February 1st, 2025, and the doors are now fully installed with the handle, as you can tell. So the battery's not plugged in right now, so I can't get it to eject and open, but the doors are closing, they're locking, windows are working, all of this is now installed. Obviously all this has to be replaced still. But yeah, the wheels are spinning correctly, because this was kind of like pushed in, it needed a upper control arm. But anyway, so an upper link, one link was busted here, so, but that's working now. So the wheels are working, the doors are working. When I replace this, I'll space the door a little bit more to the left so that this gap will close. Right now I just had to push it a little this way just so it would close and open correctly. But after I replace this, all this will lock perfectly. It will be closing like it was at the factory. So that's the update so far. Next is taking all this apart, like I said earlier. All of this will be coming undone shortly here, and then I'll be replacing this entire aluminum frame. And see you guys in a little bit. Here. Thanks. The front end has been removed now. First of all, let's start over here. This right here, along with this little lower section of the frame support here for the wheels, or what they call a subframe, basically. I had to heat and straighten these out. These were bent just a little bit back, and this one barely noticeable, but just a little bit. So I had to heat and straighten this, then some spacers go here that had to be straightened out. The biggest thing that had to happen was this bracket right here. I had to take this out, take it into a vise, heat and straighten all this aluminum out, along with this bracket back here. I had no idea this was a problem as well. This was just bent a little bit forwards, which caused it to separate the motor from the ability to control the three-way valve. Problem with that is, if I did reassemble it and try to make it work, I actually moved it by hand by taking the motor out of there, and it was slowly had a leak. So you know what? I just replaced the whole unit along with this three-way valve. They're both the same part number. So this three-way valve has been replaced. All these hoses are brand new. Not that I needed the hoses, I just needed this one, but I guess the way it comes is if you want, I think it's this one, if you wanted this end hose here, you have to purchase this whole system, and it comes with the three-way joint here, this hose, and then obviously I bought this one separately. At any rate, whatever, they're brand new. Okay, another thing I'm going to show you is I had to redo this connector here. I found this on AliExpress, and this took forever to research what kind of connection it is, because it's a 6-pin, but it uses 4 of them. I think all you had to type in was Delphi 6-pin, and then this connector came up that fits these three-way valves. It's the original connector. I just repinned it because one wire was busted off after all that dirt and mud kind of moved things around. Because this vehicle, again, was not in an impact, it was just it turned into a plow. It was just a lot of mud and dirt kind of got stuck into here and kind of bent some stuff up and broke some this frame support here for the front support here for the air conditioning condensers, the front radiator, that kind of thing. And since it's aluminum, it's easy to crack and kind of bust off, so it's just a bunch of mud pushed into it. Kind of turned into like a plow, basically, this vehicle. Whatever kind of accident it had, it was probably on the freeway. The guy slipped, went down some muddy embankment. At any rate, what else can I tell you? So basically, we're all straightened out. Hoses new, three-way valves replaced. Oh yeah, this bracket that holds the ABS pump, the ABS bracket here for the pump, this had to be straightened out, and I re-welded it. Got myself a nice new welder just to do aluminum, because I don't always do aluminum, or I rarely ever did aluminum. I always did steel. But Thursday, March 14th, update video. Let's see. Okay, here's the Tesla, and the front end has been assembled. Well, not the whole front end, but a lot of the front end has been assembled. Check this out. All the wiring is in, hood latch. Yes, we have the pumps in, the three-way valve, the other three-way valve. Brackets all straight, all wired up. What else? All the wiring here for the horns, for the hood release. There's another hood release I'm waiting to install. I just had to wire some stuff. There's another part of that hood release right here. This and this is for the hood release. I think this is for the automatic pull right there. And this one is for the micro switch to tell it if it's open or closed. Then we have obviously the wiring harness for the crash sensors are in. And what else have we? Oh, look, the key for the key. We have the antenna for the key. This is like the main antenna. There's one here, one in the back of the car, all wired up, all fixed. And of course, the radar is in. Yay! Okay, so I got my radar in. I have the battery hookup for external battery. This is the negative, that's the positive in case the battery dies. But the most important thing, I think, is the key. Pretty soon, I'll be checking if the key that came with it absolutely 1,000,000% works and gets this car moving or not. It was definitely missing this antenna, and the connection in the back of the rear bumper was broken. I got the original connectors and repinned it. I'll even show you if you can see it back here. I doubt you can see much. There's a connector right back in there. Wiring harness, all repinned, weatherproofed. And this thing right here, this antenna, this is the one I was talking about. This piece right here that unscrews right here, this little rectangle. That's the piece that is the same kind of antenna in the end caps of the dash on the left and right side near the doors. So they have one in the back here like this, and again in the end cap of the dash, the end caps of the dash on the left and right by the driver's door and the passenger's door, the front ones. Anyways, the only other antenna is the round one in the front by the radiator over there. And then that round one in the front is for the main, I guess, hoop antenna kind of thing you would call it. This round one over here, that's the main one. This one, and there's an exact copy of this on the inside of the vehicle, right in the between the seats over there, where the 12 volt plug for like cigarette lighter kind of thing would go. Great. Okay, that's the update. Everything's wired. Air conditioners are in, condensers are in, AC condensers are in, frame is in, bumpers in, radar's in, all the support, all the pieces are in, all the fans are in, all the control modules for the fans are in. This one, on the other side, the same thing. Okay, we have this control module here as well, same thing on the other side. That's fan control. Air conditionings, both condensers are in, all the plumbing's in. I still have to get the AC pressure switch that goes, that's where that wire harness down there is for, that one hanging right here. That's for the pressure switch that goes right in that little spot over here on the pipe. I still have to get that and plug it in. That's the only thing left for the air conditioner before you pull a vacuum and fill it up. Other than that, yeah, progress, progress, progress. Next thing you know, I'm going to be assembling the headlights. The front bumper's going to have to go on after I paint it. I have to paint the doors, and I have to paint the rear bumper and install it, and all that's left is this quarter panel. Problem with the quarter panel is I have to take it all apart. It's in this car right here. Yes, the quarter panel's in here. There it is, the quarter panel. Oh my goodness, look at that. That is going to take some work to separate this and the inner fender wheel housing, and then stick it on here, and then do the body work and paint the whole thing. Stay tuned. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for stopping by.